You're watching Alabama's WVUA News at 10 with your award-winning news team, Claire Huddleston. Weather with Richard Scott and sports with Gary Harris.
Thanks for joining us tonight. Tuscaloosa's tornado death toll has risen again. According to the mayor's office, 50-year-old Samuel Brassfield has now been added to the list of storm victims. Brassfield died September 16th from injuries sustained during the April 27th storms. This brings Tuscaloosa's death toll to 52. Tuscaloosa city officials expect the storm's death toll to rise in the coming weeks. April 27th tornado destroyed University Place School in Tuscaloosa. Tonight, the school board approved Ellis Architects to design a new school. The board hopes to find a contractor to begin renovations in November.
What we did today was select an architect to do that first phase of design of the building envelope and to get it back, what we call back into the dry, so the elements won't bother it during the construction phase.
The board plans to look at contractors for the interiors in the next few months. Tonight, the Tuscaloosa City School Superintendent, Dr. Paul McKendrick, shared some of his goals for the school system. One of McKendrick's main goals is to put more focus into Tuscaloosa's Center for Technology and the future of the city's children. McKendrick also wants the board to put more focus on the priority of the goals and how to achieve them rather than the actual goals themselves.
A goal is so global. And for school boards, and most school boards look at a priority. This is something that's really important for us that we need to solve this year. We need to solve or at least start the process of putting it into place. And that was where I was trying to get the board to get to.
The school board has a mission statement and 4 main goals, and they hope to combine these goals with McKendrick's goals, a goal in the coming days. The city of Tuscaloosa is honoring a man who gave so much to the community. The city named Pettis Randall Parkway after the late Mr. Randall. The area is a walkway extending from Old Colony Golf Course to the sidewalks outside Verner Elementary and down Rice Valley Road. City Council member Cynthia Almond says they have been wanting to do something in Randall's memory for a while now, and the parkway is a perfect way to honor him.
And he spent a lot of time, frankly, walking with his children and his family along this very spot, so we thought it was an appropriate way to honor him and remember him.
A sign with Pettis Randall's name is inscribed at the intersection of Old Colony and Northridge Roads. Alabama's U.S. Senator Richard Shelby is speaking out about the state's controversial immigration law. After speaking at a gathering of small business owners, Shelby took time to answer some questions. Shelby says immigration should be a job for the federal government, but he says states are getting involved because Congress is not doing its job.
Well, I think the federal government is going to have to enforce the laws, and they haven't. Most of the time, they don't know who's in this country. Millions of people come to this country legally each year. A lot of them don't go back. We don't know who they are. A lot of them come over the border looking for a better way of life. We understand that. A lot of them work hard. But I've always said that what we need is to enforce the law. We have a system of laws, and we ought to enforce the law, and we don't.
Officials say both sides are likely to appeal the federal court's ruling. Alabama's new immigration law is affecting police departments around the state. Tuscaloosa Police Chief Steve Anderson says he will meet with the city attorney to get a better understanding of what's required and what's prohibited. Anderson says his officers will start training to learn the new provisions next week, but he says the law is very complicated and it will take some time before his officers are fully trained.
The immigration law that the state of Alabama has passed is a very complicated law. We are still in the process of doing training with our officers to get them up to speed on the law, because we want to make sure that when we're out here enforcing this law that we're not violating anyone's rights when we're doing that, and that's very important to us.
Anderson says he hopes to keep the trust between his officers and the community, but they must enforce the law. 8 groups will share $1 million to develop training for emergency preparedness and accident prevention in underground mines. The U.S. Mine Safety and Health Administration announced the Brookwood Sago grants today. The grants are named after the 13 men who died in the 2001 Brookwood mine explosion and the 12 men who died in the 2006 Sago mine explosion in West Virginia. Bevel State Community College will get part of the grant, along with the University of Arizona, Penn State University, the Colorado School of Mines, Wheeling-Jesuit, and Marshall Universities in West Virginia, the United Mine Workers of America Career Center, and the Virginia Department of Mines, Minerals, and Energy.